Hey y'all, my name is Raquel. I'm an intuitive reader and medium. And I want to talk about religion because I think it's very important. I think that we so we are so quick to demonize people's beliefs, right? And I think we need to respect beliefs because they have levels. I think that no one should be trying to force their beliefs on others, right? Because there's not one way to skin the cat, there's not one way to reach creator source God. However, if you believe that, I'm going to respect that because I don't choose to go back and forth. That's just senseless. But I do believe that religion is like our structure, our foundation. It gives us the guidelines, it keeps us, it's like a lesson in self mastery, right? So for a child, you have to be kind of simple with children, or at least how we have been used to doing. These kids are kind of advanced, and I believe that if you talk up to them at some point, that they will understand. But to a degree, things have to be kind of spoon fed to children, right? And so when you're a children in your evolution, when it comes to coming back to self, connecting to source, realizing that you're not separate from, but that creator God is within and always has been. When you're coming back into the remembrance of who you are in this soul's journey, you need a foundation like religion. Everybody doesn't, but speaking to those of us that are what would be referred to as awakened, a star children. Some people are referred to you as chosen. Whatever, it's all the same difference. So I'm going to get into why religion is necessary. Now, in this book, because I am an intuitive reader and medium, you still need to study, right? Because it helps. Because when you're reading people and doing stuff, spirit, creator God, and spirit, same thing, right? What you call Father, Son, Holy Ghost. So creator, source, God, and spirit speaks to you through your Rolodex that you have. It can only communicate with your knowledge base. So it has to use the things that you are familiar with. So the more you expand your mind, the more messages and different things that you can get forth, right? So I'm reading this book. See, this is called The Other Bible. I think it's very important. I was reading this and it made me come on here live today to share with you. Please, I ask that you like the video because I'm not trying to be funny, y'all. I'm still me. I feel like if you don't like this video, you're a damn hater. Seriously, because for what reason would you not want to support unless you're just a hater, right? Like it, and if you please share it. Okay, so in here, here's let me start with this. So it says, such logic is altogether laughable, for reason is manifestly master, not of its own emotions, but of those contrary to justice, courage, temperance, and prudence. And of those it is master, not in order to destroy them, but in order not to yield to them. So what I'm reading and what I'm talking about, and I'm going to continue to talk, go on about this, is sometimes we feel like as we, in life, we have to balance. We have to come to balance. We have to come into temperance, right? We have to be able to balance our desires. We have to be able to balance the spiritual part of us and the natural part of us, or the incarnate part of us. We have to be able to do those things, right? And that's what I'm speaking to. I'm just giving some text reference to that, right? Because when you stay balanced, you stay out of the way of a lot of unnecessary dumb stuff. And people that are out of balance severely, because we have our times, right? Nobody's just always even keel. You might tilt a little bit to this way or that way. But when you're completely out of balance, that's when chaos comes in. And it's to get you in order, right? To get you back to balance, right? So chaos comes in and whoops your ass real quick. You getting off, you getting off the beaten trail, player, come on back to the middle, right? So that's what I'm reading to. So it says, none of you, for example, can extirpate desire, but reason can secure that you be not enslaved to desire. Anger, none of you can extirpate from his soul, but reason is able to assuage anger. Malice, none of you can extirpate, but reason may be your ally in not submitting to malice. For reason is not the uprooter of emotions, but their antagonist. So what they're saying is these desires, these negative thoughts, negative feelings, things that we think are unpleasant. It's not that they will not come. It's not that you can get rid of them. A lot of times we think we have to just kill the other side of us. No, what we must do is bring it into balance or bring it into subjugation under reason and just what makes sense. What is going to work for you, right? So I feel like this story is so great, and this is not going to be for everybody, but I ask that you stay with me. All right, keep that attention span. I know it's hard. I know it's hard. We got the TikTok and we TikToking, and people can't pay attention for more than 5 seconds. But I'm just asking you to be cool. Okay, so in this story, right? This and I felt like this was good. And see, as soon as I said be cool, here we go. People jumping off. They just can't do it. So listen to this right quick. It says, when King Seleucus died, his son Antiochus, these names, Epiphanes, succeeded to rule. He was an arrogant and terrible man. He deposed Onias from the high priesthood and appointed as high priest his brother Jason, who had agreed to pay him 3,660 talents annually if he would bestow the office upon him. And so Antiochus appointed Jason to serve as high priest and to rule over the nation. Jason changed the nation's manner of life and altered its policy in complete defiance of the law. So Jason was a tyrant. He said, forget the law, right? We're going to do it how I want to do it. And his brother was cool with it because he was going to get paid. You see how greed allows for corruption and it allows for tyranny. And this is why we should not, this is why we should stay away from being greedy, because that lack mindset puts you into very dangerous situations, and it creates very unpleasant environments. So not only did he construct a gymnasium upon the very citadel of our country, but he even suppressed the service of the temple. At these things, divine justice was angered and brought Antiochus himself to war against them. So this goes on to basically say, like, let's see, he said, so he said, and so the tyrant Antiochus, sitting with his counselors upon a lofty place and surrounded by his soldiers under arms, ordered his guards to hail the Hebrews one by one and force them to eat of swine's flesh and of meat consecrated to idols. So he wants to force these people to go against their beliefs, right? Because this is how much of a tyrant he is. And so those who refused to eat of the contamination he ordered to be broken on the wheel and killed. Many were seized and corralled, and first of the herd to be hailed before the tyrant was a man called Eleazar, a priest by family and an expert in the law, advanced in age and known to many of the king's court because of his philosophy. When Antiochus saw him, he said, before I commence inflicting torture upon you, graybeard, I will give you this counsel. Eat of the swine's flesh and save yourself. I respect your age and your hoary head, but I cannot think you a philosopher when you have so long been an old man and still cling to the religion of the Jews. Why do you abominate eating the excellent meat of this animal which nature has freely bestowed upon us? So now he's trying to convince him in his way of, it goes on basically to show you, he's trying to convince him of why it's not a big deal to eat this meat. Like, you're going to hang on to this ridiculous belief of the Jews, even though I'm going to kill you type of thing. So fast forward. It says, when the tyrant had in this fashion sought to urge him on to the eating of forbidden flesh, Eleazar begged leave to speak. And when he had received permission, now this is the real important part. This is why I wanted to go into this. To do so, he began his discourse as follows. We Antiochus, who out of conviction lead our lives in accordance with the divine law, believe no constraint more compelling than our own willing obedience to the law. And therefore, under no circumstance do we deem it right to transgress the law. Nay, even if our law were in good truth, as you suppose, not divine, and we merely believed it to be divine, even so, it would not be possible for us to invalidate our reputation for piety, and do not regard the eating of unclean flesh a small offense. Transgression is of equal weight in small matters, as enlarged, for in either case the law is equally despised. You mock at our philosophy and say our living according to is contrary to reason, yet it teaches us temperance, right? So that we rule over all pleasures and desires, and it ensures us to courage, so that we willingly endure any difficulty, and it educates us in justice, so that we can keep an even balance whatever our tempers, and it instructs us in piety, so that we reverence the sole living God with due magnificence. So I read that to say, to show you basically what he's saying, despite how you might feel is ridiculous, our beliefs keeps us in order. Our beliefs creates a foundation for structure. Our beliefs allows us to control our anger and control urges that might not be beneficial if we act upon them, right? So we might not respect people's religious beliefs, but whatever they hold on to that keeps them close to balance should be respected, and it should be okay. But I think many of us, the problem is those who have went on from religion, right? We give gratitude for the foundation it has given us, right? We give gratitude to the law and how it has because here's the thing, sometimes you have to be over strict or on certain situations until the so with your children, right? And this how I feel like religion is for children. It's like religion is the same to people as parents are to children. Let me say that. So with your children, you have to be very firm and have solid rules and foundations, because they are not at the point where they can discern how to navigate life and understand nuance, black and white. I mean, that life is not black and white. They're not able to navigate and differentiate things yet. They don't have the wisdom, right? But as they grow up and they become more wise, they're able to say, well, you know, this is was a bit to the extreme. I can do this and I can do that. And that's how religion is for us. So people that have evolved past religion, they have went within, and between living life and experience, discerning of the spirit, going within in the spirit, and the constant reverence of speaking with God, creator, they understand that the relationship with creator source is not about a law, okay, because you are an expression of it. But still, we can't negate that religion was a good foundation to keep us out of trouble, and to keep us, you know, to keep us out of dumb situation, to keep us more to balance. So I don't know if I was talking over y'all head. I hope somebody sees this and gets what I'm talking about, because I will admit it is a bit complicated to articulate all of these things, because I'm trying to make sure that I'm making sense out of it and not talking over your head. But at the same time, I have to get the message out. So it's a bit of a juggling act, even for me. But I just wanted to say that we need to respect. We really need to respect where everybody is in their belief system. We need to understand and respect the part that religion plays, but we also need to respect those that have evolved past it, right? And if you stay there, that's okay too. But we need to respect each other. But we have to understand where religion plays a place in the evolvement process, in the journey back to self, in the spiritual journey. Religion is a good foundation. I think sometimes, you know, some of us have church hurt and we have different things going on, but we fail to acknowledge the part that religion plays. And when you acknowledge and understand the part that it plays in the journey, you can release that hurt and you can release that pain. The difficulty comes, though, when religious folk are not tolerant to those who are not no longer religious. I've evolved past that. You don't have to hit me with 1,000 scriptures. You don't have to damn me to hell. Okay. And I'm not doing that to you. I respect you, brother. I respect you, sister. I respect where you're at. I know where you are. I've been there. And I'm not saying I'm better than, but we don't have to do this back and forth. We can be amicable and we can love one another and come together in fellowship, respectful, cordial fellowship, and enjoy what we can. All of this other stuff, it gets to be a bit crazy. So I don't know what you got out of that. I hope, like I said, I made sense to y'all that are watching. I just ask that you hit the like button, please. I mean, because if you don't, it's like, and what y'all got an issue with me or something? What's the problem? But yeah, I just wanted to talk about that. But that's the book that I'm reading. Again, I'm gonna show it again. The other Bible. And this book, right, is deep. But the names, like if you go back to the beginning, I was having trouble saying the names because it's a lot of names in here that's just over the top, right? Like, what is all of this? But when you read something like this, you gotta put your logical mind out of the way. You gotta stop trying to wrestle it in. But what is you just gotta read it and allow it to hit your spirit and get what you can out of it. And so this is really good for me as an intuitive reader and medium. This is very good for me because it puts more things in my Rolodex, in my spiritual Rolodex to draw from, you know? So I just want to get on here and say that I love you guys. If you're interested in readings or anything, I have a tarot channel. The link is in here below under the video. And it's on Rumble, so you can check that out if you're interested. But I'm out, y'all. Love ya.